You know, there are very few things in life that ruin your life, but you have to do it. People say death and taxes are the two things that ruin your life, but you have to do it or have to go through it. But I think there's a third thing. And that third thing is called jury duty. This is quite hilarious, actually, because I'm only 21, but I already got selected. Yet there are people who are 70 years old who have never been selected for this. So, due to unfortunate circumstances, I unfortunately will have to cancel the rest of season 6, and beginning on July 1st will be the next season, and it will actually be going back to season 1 because we will be resetting the chapter as well. Now, I want to explain to you guys how the US government system kind of works in this part of the government that's going to be happening. I have been selected as a juror in the state of Maryland. What that means is I have to show up to court and basically be a juror of certain cases that I get picked in if they pick me. But even if I don't get picked, I still have to show up anyways, with the exception of if they don't list my number on the court's phone number. I'm not going to say which one it is because I'm not going to leak where I live. All I can say is I live in Maryland, so if you look up the Maryland court system, majority of the counties like to pick based on a 3-year basis, except for the Baltimore City area, which I do not live in. They do it by a year. But basically what this is I have been summoned for jury duty. Maryland's jury selection law provides that jurors are selected at random from a fair cross selection of citizens residing in the county I live in, which I'm not going to, again, say what county I live in. That's basically how this works. Under this law, my name has been selected from a consolidated list of registered voters from the Board of Elections and licensed. And it's basically they pick my name because I'm a registered voter. Because I have voted. I'm not going to say which one because I'm not going to who I voted for because I'm not going to cause that kind of drama today. But they can also pick you if you have a driver's license or a regular ID holder from the MVA in the county that I would reside in. I have to fill out I guess I already filled this out after I'm recording this, but I've already filled it out before I recorded this. But my answers to the questions of the juror qualification form will be evaluated by the courts to make sure I'm eligible for jury service. I'm pretty sure I am because there is absolutely no reason I wouldn't be going. So I will be most likely going to court. In general, you need to be 18 years old. 18 years old to at least be allowed to be picked for this, at minimum. You also need to be a citizen of the United States, which I was born in this country before 2025, assuming that law does take effect or not, but you know what law I'm talking about if you've been following politics recently. But I've been born in the United States, which means I'm a U.S. citizen. I also am a resident of the county that I got the summons from, which I'm thankful I didn't get it from another county because I would have to fight court to not have to go because you're not supposed to be going to jury duty on outside of your home county. So, and I am able to communicate in English. I'm pretty sure it's obvious by now that if you hear me speaking right now, you know I speak English. But if you've also been charged or convicted in certain crimes, you may not be eligible to serve as a juror, which I have done absolutely nothing to do that. So, because of that, I'm very well fit to be a juror. Now, the reason why I have to cancel this season is because I have to do this by law. If I continue to stay up till 2:30 in the morning and then I accidentally miss my jury service, I could be fined up to $1,500 in US currency. That's a lot of money. Not just that, I can also go to jail. And I don't want to go to jail because if I go to jail, then basically the off season's longer than just a month. Now the reason why it's just a month, because I know some Americans are saying, I only have to go to jury duty for a week. Why a month? Well, in the state of Maryland, you have to serve as a trial juror. You're serving in a month. Every day you have to call this number or visit the website. I'm going to be doing both, to be honest with you. And you have to do this every day to determine if you have to go to court in the following day or not. Now, the times are unknown. They will tell you if you have to go. But my prediction is that they're going to pick me for 8:30 in the morning or maybe sometime early, which will make it to where I can't necessarily continue to have the same sleep schedule, as I'm going to have to slowly ease my way back into a normal sleep routine, a non-nocturnal sleep schedule for the first time in a while. But I will be back into being a nocturnal person later on. So, basically, if you are one of the unlucky people to be picked, I feel very sorry for you. Now, I don't know who's going to be at jury with me. All I know is that there's at least 130 people or more that have been picked this month. However, there is some good news. If I serve less than 4 jury days, I won't have to do this for a year. But if I serve 5 or more, which again, it depends on if I get picked by the court system or not. If I serve 5 or more, I won't have to do it for another 3 years at minimum. After that 3-year period, they can randomly pick my name again, but that is if they pick me. Now, it is not always truly random either. It also depends on where you work, how old you are, and basically what education you got. Because they want to have people of various backgrounds. So how this works is that every morning, well, I guess according to the website, you're supposed to call after 5 p.m. on the day before the first day of service. So you're actually supposed to call them after 5 p.m. every day rather than just in the morning, but it wouldn't hurt to check in the morning as well. You have to call a certain number. You call this certain number, they list a number of things that will tell you if you have to go to court or not. They will give you a number. Think this like Squid Games. Everyone has a number in Squid Games. I will not tell you my number for security reasons because I'm not going to have somebody look up every single court system and then find my name under a certain number, even though the numbers are different within each county. But I'm going to give you an example on how this works. Let's say if I was number 64. They will call up people in numbers like going through 1 through 50, 50 to 100. That's at least what my father said, so because he's had jury duty once in his life. Yes, only once in his life, and he's older than me. So yeah, that's crazy. But they call your number. If your number's been listed on that phone line, or if it's on that website, because they now have that as a website thanks to technology advancements, if your number is listed, you have to go to court. In this case, I'm actually going to one of the 92 circuit courts, which is a federal court, which is higher than the state levels. So, and for those who don't know how the court system works, in the federal level, you start with the circuit court. Then it goes up to the Court of Appeals, which I think there's 12 or 13 of those. And then after that, it goes up to the Supreme Court. So I'm literally only 2 levels below the highest court system in this entire country in terms of where I'm going to be serving as a juror. Yeah, now you know how serious this is, just because I just said that. Now, there is a whole nother state level as well, which they have the state Supreme Court. They have district courts at the bottom, the state Supreme Court at the top. But after the state Supreme Court, if it gets appealed through there, they'll just go to the Supreme Court as well. So, now each state and jurisdiction is different when it comes to jury duty, but the one you heard, is basically how Maryland does it. Now, after your number gets picked and called up, you have to show up to court along with the rest of your group. There's going to be about maybe 40, 50 people there, maybe even more, I don't know. Depends on how many people get selected to serve a certain day. Then from there, a bunch of lawyers are going to come into the room, and they're going to ask you a bunch of silly questions that are basically common knowledge. They're going to ask you questions about who you are and if you have any biases with a certain case or not, which is very unlikely because, again, unless if I know somebody, and that's about it. But it's very unlikely that will happen. Now, what lawyers are going to do, and what the defendant and plaintiffs are going to try to do, or I guess the plaintiffs and defendants' lawyers are going to do at least, they're going to basically eliminate people who they don't want to serve as jury. They're not going to basically pick them. They want to eliminate people that they don't want on the case. And they will have to continue doing this until there's around 12 people. And those 12 remaining people, well, that's what they call those people. They like to call those people too stupid to avoid jury, which I really think that's offensive a little offensive, because some people are just naturally not speaking that much in public like I am. So, yeah, basically what they say is if you talk a lot, you serve less. And because I don't talk a lot, I'm probably going to be serving more, unfortunately. But, that's just how the government system works. But you also have to keep in mind, you have to wear appropriate dress clothes. You can't wear t-shirts that have logos on it. You can't wear tank tops. You can't wear shorts. You can't wear flip-flops. You're going to court. You're going to a federal court. You have to wear something appropriate. So what does this mean? Now, after the 12 jurors have been selected, they will actually be the official jury of the case, and will have to listen to both the defendant and the plaintiff. And what they have to do is, instead of the judge coming up with an agreement on what the case should side with, it will be up to the jury. And all 12 of them have to agree on the same thing. But if they don't, then it's called, I think, what was it called? I don't remember what the terminology was called for for when a jury does not agree to the same thing, but it basically results in like some form of mistrial or something, meaning no agreement's been made. Usually at this period is when it gets appealed to the next level up, unless if the court above it doesn't accept. Again, there's only 12 district courts, or not district courts, sorry. There's only 12 court of appeals, so maybe 13, I don't remember. But yeah, there's not that very many. And they all serve multiple states and their regions, so. And that's basically how the court system works. And then, if a verdict is reached, then we will send a letter to the judge, and then the judge will read the final verdict to both the defendant and the plaintiff's parties and whoever's the spectators inside the room as well. And then after that, court is out of session, and then we have to repeat the very next day. Again, if I would have to be picked first. But again, this is a very serious thing that I have to do, or I go to prison, which is why I need to cancel the season of this YouTube channel. I'm sorry that I have to do this. It's not my fault. This also means that the GA Cup is also canceled as well. We will resume the next GA Cup season in July as well. In the meantime, though, I will still be able to upload normal videos during this off-season. Now, I'm thankful Liverpool is in the off-season as well, and I'm thankful that most sports that I watch are also in off-season, so we won't have to do any reactions anytime soon. We won't have to do that until, like, August anyway, when the NFL preseason and the new the new season for Liverpool starts. But this might affect the U.S. men's national team streams, which we might not be able to do as many until July starts, of course. If I look up the U.S. men's national team schedule for this year, because I know we're competing in the Gold Cup this year, I will have to cancel the following live streams. So the following live streams. Let me get to the website real quick. The following live streams that will now need to be canceled is the United States versus Turkey international friendly on June 7th is now been canceled. The USA versus Switzerland on June 10th has now been canceled. USA versus Trinidad Tobago Gold Cup match stream has been canceled on June 15th. Saudi Arabia versus United States, June 19th in the Gold Cup has now been canceled as well. And USA versus Haiti on June 22nd has been canceled. All 5 of these games we will not be able to live stream, as confirmed that this falls, all 5 of these live streams falls inside June. Now, the live streams for United States versus South Korea on September 6th is now the latest day that we have a U.S. men's national team game, and that is an international friendly. We also have USA versus Japan. That is on September 9th that we will be able to do as well. So yes, sadly I have to cancel a lot of all the Gold Cup matches we've had in terms of the watch-alongs. However, if the United States men's national team makes it far enough in the bracket to where their games will reside in July, then we will be able to do these live streams as long as these games do not fall on a work day that requires me to miss out. But as far as Liverpool and the Baltimore Ravens, they are not affected by this, as my jury duty period is in June, not August or any of the other months. That's the only good thing about this, is that they didn't pick a month that has any sports, but they also picked a month that has kids coming off of school. They have we have people starting their summer breaks, being able to watch streams. The United States would be able to rejoice themselves as gamers in this month, but unfortunately we can't be part of it until July. So, yeah, I want to thank everyone for understanding that this is important. Now, regards to me having to cancel this season. Having to cancel the season is unfortunate, but it does have room for opportunity. Because in July 1st is the next chapter, which means we're going back to Season 1 again. No, it's not the Season 1 of the current chapter. We're not playing War Thunder again. I'm sorry. I know some of you older folks would want me to see War Thunder, but I'm sorry, that game's just not popular enough. Now, in terms of the season structure for the next season, back all the way in Season 1 of the next chapter, well, might as well call it Chapter 2. Even though I guess we technically had more than a few chapters, but the chapters in the past are known by years now. So, Chapter 2, Season 1 starts on July 1st, 2025. The season structure will be the same as of Chapter 1, Season 6, which means we're still going to do the relegation promotions thing. There's still going to be 5 tiers. What does a new chapter mean, though? The new chapter means that a brand new lineup of games will be replacing all of the games. And how this is going to work, by close to the end of the month, there will be selections, or throughout the month of June, there will be a few selections on what games we will be playing, and what league they will be playing in as well. Some will play in the Premier League, some will play in the Championship, some will play in League 1, and some will play in League 2. And also, if you want to have any of these 4 leagues named something different, feel free to comment it down below, as I will freely change any of the 4 league names in your honor if you want to, as long as it's appropriate. Because I also kind of want to change the names of the leagues as well, because I don't want to be completely like England, right? We're gonna be different on this channel. So, how this is going to work for game selections. Now, there is certain criteria that will come into play in this, because it's not just going to be random games. The top 12 on Roblox will be selected, meaning the top 12 most popular games on Roblox will be selected, with 3 going to each of the 4 tiers. And then, from after that, the next two games. The other two games in each division will be the most popular games overall, which would be games like Roblox and Fortnite. And when I say Roblox, I mean like Roblox in general, not like specific game streams. So this means as long as you stay in the top 12 or on Roblox or the top 8 on consoles, you will be allowed to have a season next season. Now, regarding that, relegation and promotion is still a thing, which means you cannot just suck in the first season of your existence and expect to stay up. The relegation and promotion rules will be the same as last season, even though we never got to use it thanks to court. However, I'm grateful that we made it through at least 4 periods of the season that I could get through. However, the 5th one and the rest of the season after had to be canceled due to unfortunate circumstances. So, the GA Cup we will also attempt to expand the GA Cup. If you are watching this, I want all of you to submit a game, up to 16 games, because I want to expand the GA Cup to have more games in it. Again, I know I've been expanding the GA Cup almost every season, but this should be the last expansion for a while, until the season structure changes, which won't be anytime soon as long as this is successful. So I just want to say good luck to that. Again, also suggest what you want each of the 4 league names to be for this chapter as well, because all 4 of them will be changing. So yeah, that's basically it. Now the season structures is still going to be 12 periods, each one scoring a different number of points depending on what your position in your league is. There will still be a power rankings as well. There will be a playoffs at the end of week 10. It's going to be an 11-week season, 10 in the regular season, 1 in the playoffs. So, I want to say good luck to all of you who do decide to submit a game. 16 games will be selected into the bracket, and because of how small this channel is, you basically are almost guaranteed as long as you submit something. Otherwise, feel free to submit whatever. So, thank you for watching this. Thank you guys for understanding that jury duty is important in the country of the United States. I will have some updates along the season on how jury duty is going. And I hope to see you guys in the next live stream on July 1st. Peace!